Wolverine.
Not quite.
You think that you know what's best.
Not quite.
I say you sound just like the rest. That's right. That's right. That's right. Deal with it.
On this episode, we cold-heartedly complain about the Wolverine. I hate this movie. It's just so... yeah. So, the Wolverine. It's the second in the X-Men standalone Wolverine series, following, of course, Storm. It's not Storm? Apparently it follows the Wolverine. It comes after the god-awful X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is... don't watch it. I'm not a big fan of X-Men movies in general. To me, half the series is all horrible movies. I mean, you have such wonders as X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins, and the Wolverine. I mean, the original wasn't even that good. For scenes such as...
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
serious line they wrote in there. Why'd they cast Halle Berry? Anyway, moving on. Even the best movies in the series, Days of Future Past and X-Men First Class, suffer from huge plot holes. But let's get into why the Wolverine is bad. This review will have spoilers of the plot, so if that bothers you, So the Wolverine came out in July 2013. It was directed by James Mangold. It follows the story of Wolverine's adventures in Japan. Now don't get me wrong, I love the character Wolverine, and Hugh Jackman does an amazing job at playing him. The problem is though, is that Wolverine in a standalone movie does not work nearly as well as he does in a group dynamic. Yeah, you see in all of the best X-Men movies, such as X2 or Days of Future Past, that Wolverine is not the main character. He's not the driving force of the story. He is a character who is there, who is a badass, but he allows all the other more serious and less fun characters to drive the story while he alleviates tension. He's the fun character. Go back to X2, and you have Cyclops, who's the leader, who takes care of most of that boring jibber-jabber kind of stuff. And then you have Wolverine, who just gets to sit back and be an asshole. That's the best part of him. He's a jerk, and you love that. And he doesn't have to move the plot forward like that. If you look at some of the best superhero movies that come out, such as the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy, if you take out some of the characters from there, they can't hold their own movie. Such as Groot. You think you can make a whole movie about a talking tree? If you take out the Hulk has proven multiple times he cannot sustain his own movie. When you put him in a movie like the Avengers, and you have other characters driving the plot, you allow him to just be there, to add something, to be that spice in the mix that just makes it all blend together perfectly. When you're watching the Avengers, you can see Tony Stark and Captain America and Thor driving this whole story, with Bruce Banner just being in the background, just being cool, just being there, just giving his witty remarks. And then finally, when he steps into the fray...
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
Feels so satisfying, because you've been waiting for it the whole movie. But beside that glaring problem I do have with the entire premise of a standalone Wolverine movie, the Wolverine itself just feels like this generic, cut-out action movie. The characters are bland. The story is boring. The dialogue is completely forgettable. And the action follows what every modern action movie is trying to do. Make your fight scenes fast, blurry, but that's not exciting. I don't get anything out of that. A blur of flash and claws, I don't care. Now some people point to the fight on the top of the bullet train as an exciting part. Really? Look at this. Ooh, God, I feel so much tension. Who will win? Will Wolverine lose? It's the middle of the movie and the main character he's protecting is not in danger in any way at this point. I don't care. So what's the story here? After The Last Stand, Logan decides to just go out into the wilderness and escape from all society. Do you blame him? If you were in that movie, would you want to be around normal society? Then someone's like, hey, you want to come to Japan?
I'm not going to Japan.
But hey, I'll go to Japan.
One day.
And then he goes to Japan and meets a dying dude who he once saved back in World War II. It was really exciting. I'm not showing you that scene. Fuck that. But the guy got super rich, and he wants to give Wolverine a gift. He wants to take away his powers so that he can die and then the old man can live.
You offering to kill me?
Now, I don't know about gift giving. People don't get gifts from me. But for me, that sounds like a wonderful gift. Hey, thanks for saving my life. You want to die so I can live again? Yeah? Logan declines because... why would you want to die? I mean, come on. That's stupid. And then as he walks into the rain, he sees a young, beautiful woman trying to throw herself off a cliff. He saves her in the nick of time, and they stare at each other, where the movie promises, at that point, these two characters will do the thing. It's a prophecy. Passed down from generations. Logan falls asleep, the old man dies, and the next morning, Logan decides, hey, I didn't know that old man, he just tried to get me to kill myself, but I'm gonna go to his funeral. I got nothing better to do. What am I gonna do, go back and live in the woods? Come on. But then, suddenly, the Yakuza attack, trying to kill the sexy young woman, who apparently has a name, but I can't be bothered to learn it, so they're trying to get this Mariko, and Logan escapes her and escapes on a bullet train. I mentioned this earlier. Logan then discovers that the damage he's taken in the battle isn't healing, and that his healing factor is somehow being suppressed. Kind of. I mean, he has multiple gunshot wounds, but he's still standing and doesn't seem like he really needs any help at the moment. Which leads into another big problem of having a super badass character in a standalone movie. You have to make them seem weak-ish, so that the movie has tension, and that he's not just cutting through guys left and right. But the problem is that no point in this movie did they actually go the whole way with it. I, at no point in this movie, do feel like Logan is in any trouble. I mean, he's taken multiple gunshot wounds. If they really wanted to hammer in that Logan is suffering from this, he should be on the floor. He should be incapacitated. He should be in some way where he actually needs help. But he doesn't. Everybody knew that Wolverine wasn't going to die, but the movie tries to make you think that he is. Like there's some sort of tension here. They want you to think he's on the verge of death when he's fighting off like 5 guys with multiple gunshot wounds, and he's totally fine. You really expect me to have any fear that this guy, who is completely still unkillable, is going to die? You doing? I mean, they just kind of half-ass making him weak. Back to this outdated thing in action movies some people call plot. Logan and Mariko disembark the train and go to spend the night at the Love Hotel because... Japan! Then in the morning, they go off to the countryside. And then that night, the prophecy is fulfilled and they bang. Anyways, he wakes up to find that Mariko has been kidnapped by the Yakuza. So he gets picked up by the chick who originally took him to Japan, who then knows where he is because she can see the future. And they go off to meet Mariko's fiancé. So they bust in on Mariko's fiancé, who's a big shot government guy, official. That's an official position. Japan, look it up. Japanese got weird positions over there. Tentacles and all that stuff, you know. That's how it goes. They come up on him partying with the lady. But Logan shuts the party down and gets down to business.
Let's get down to business.
Her fiancé spills the beans and says that for this entire time, the Yakuza have been working for Mariko's father because their grandpa left her, the company, instead of her dad. So her dad obviously wants to kill her so he can take the company. Seems reasonable. Logic. But after he gets what he needs, he's so disgusted with this guy, he throws him out the penthouse window. Only for him to land in a swimming pool a few floors down. But then there's this lovely comedic scene where the girl asks, how did you know there's a swimming pool down there?
How did you know there's a pool down there?
I didn't.
He's Wolverine, the best hero. So the Yakuza take Mariko back to her father's. But then they are all attacked by some ninjas who are led by the old man's doctor, who it turns out is a mutant with like a venom power. She's a snake, Viper, I don't know. So they kill all the Yakuza, and then Viper licks a pen and stabs it right into his jugular, which I assume was supposed to kill him. Later Logan shows up at the house only to find that Mariko is gone. They also find a note stabbed into a Yakuza member of the secret fortress of the old man up in the north. Which is... this is like a murder mystery game, isn't it? I mean, shit. They go to the medical equipment and find that Logan has a parasite or something on him that's suppressing his powers by attacking his heart. because genetics work that way, I guess. But it turns out Mariko's dad is still alive, and he's taken his time since losing his daughter to dress up in some samurai outfits and start running around the house. I mean, you know, poison has effects on some people. It kills some people. It makes other people samurai. I don't know. So the redhead girl fights off Mariko's dad, while Logan takes out the parasite, not affecting his powers that much. So, whatever. He gets it off. He gets his full regen powers back. And Logan fights and kills Mariko's father. So Logan motorcycles his way off to save her for the staging of a really frustrating battle. Because basically what happens is, I mentioned this earlier, Logan just runs through the town and a bunch of archers shoot him in the back with arrows with tethers on them. Now, there's still no reason he can't reach behind him and cut the arrows off, but he doesn't. He allows himself basically to be captured. It's ridiculous. He has his full power back. How come he can't take the fucking things off? I mean, he's the fucking Wolverine. He's supposed to be a fucking badass. What the fuck am I getting, movie? So he gets captured and hooked up to this chair that forces his claws out. So the Dr. Viper reveals that this entire time she's been working for the Silver Samurai, who, get this, is the old man who, get this, wasn't dead the entire time. Shocking. Completely shocking. And then they fight. And the old man gets the upper hand, so he takes his sword and cuts his claws off. And grabs Wolverine's hands and drills into his now bone claws. And now, again, the great understanding of genetics is that he drills into them and is able to suck the genetics out of him into himself. Because this is how that works. But Mariko comes in the nick of time to stab her grandpa in the neck before he's taken all of the regen powers. And then Logan throws grandpa out the window and the day is saved. Logan returns home and they set up a better X-Men movie. The end. So that's the Wolverine. And I've seen a lot of reviews putting this movie at about a B or a C. Or some people even put it as an A-. But I just don't get it. It feels like every mediocre movie is given the ranking of either B or A- or B+ or B-, which to me symbolizes that it's good, is worth seeing. This movie deserves a D, maybe an F. It is not good. It is not fun. It's not innovative. Overall, letter grades are an inadequate way of boiling down films and really giving an idea whether a movie is good or not. But this movie is not good. It's bad. Mind-numbingly simplistic and basic. This story feels like a superhero ad-lib. Hero, the Wolverine. Villain, Silver Surfer. Setting, Japan. Twist ending. The old man who died at the beginning of the movie was not dead the entire time. Oh my god! Ta-da! You got a Wolverine movie. Don't see this movie. Just watch Days of Future Past. Or at least just watch the Quicksilver scene from Days of Future Past, because that was honestly the best part. See Days of Future Past if you haven't, because that Quicksilver scene is awesome. Or better yet, watch a better action movie that has well staged out fights. Great movies that come out in the past year like Snowpiercer or The Winter Soldier. Can't knock that Chris Evans, he knows how to fight. And maybe after all this, we won't have to bear through another stinking Wolverine standalone movie. Are you kidding me? Fuck me. So thank you for watching my first video. Took a lot of planning to go into this. I know it's my first effort, so it's not perfect, but it's just something I'm trying to start out doing. If you liked it, please share it. If you don't like it, tell me why. I would love to know. One little thing I wanted to add is after I did the original filming on this, I went out to actually go buy a copy of the Wolverine so I could use footage for it. Now, when I went out, see, I got this here for $9.99, alright? And then, next to it, saw this. The entire trilogy of The Dark Knight for $10. Just a heads up, again, do not buy this. If you see this, buy that, because that's a great deal. That's insane. Again, so thank you for watching the video. I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Probably don't use Tumblr that much, but hey, I got them. Links should be on the screen, or if not, in the description below, maybe both. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Have fun!